by taking a nice comfortable seat on your mat. And let's see here. Blankets, bolsters, sandbags if you have them. Gather those near and let's take a nice comfortable seat on our mat. Let's ground down through our sit bones. Lengthen through the top of our head. Bring our shoulders up into our ears and then relax our shoulder blades down the back. Take a big, deep breath in. Let it out nice and slow. Settling in. Relaxing into this shape. Relaxing into this space. Just focusing on your breath. Let's do a little twisting, a little coming into our bodies before we drop in deeply into rest. So you can leave your eyes opened or closed and inhale, arms lift up, look up. Exhale, hands come down, reach through your fingers as far as they'll go. Inhale, arms lift up, look up. Exhale, hands come down, reach through those fingers. One more, inhale, arms lift up, look up. Twist to the left, left hand behind you, right hand to your knee. Lengthen through the crown of your head, gaze over your back shoulder. Connecting to your breath. Look forward, unwind, inhale, arms lift up, look up, and twist to the right, right hand behind you, left hand to your knee. Lengthen through the top of your head, gaze over your back shoulder. Look forward, unwind. Let's do some gentle seated cat-cows. Just first coming into a cat, and then opening into cow, arching your back, opening your heart and your chest, just moving with your breath. Coming back to center. Plant your left hand down, right arm up and over. Anchor down through your sit bones as you reach through your fingers as far as they'll go. And then coming back to center, right hand down, left arm up and over. Come back to center. Okay, now let's make our way into child's pose, wide leg child's pose. This is great if you can prop up blankets, bolsters, pillows in front of you and drape your body over those blankets, bolsters, or pillows. Now, if you have a sandbag, this can be nice and juicy for you as well. And if you don't have them, you're probably going to covet sandbags after. But you're going to take this and just come forward. Now I'm putting my sandbag over the back of my body, so right on that sacrum. And you can reach your arms out and bring a cheek down on one side. Or you can tuck your arms back around you. But we're gonna be here for a little while, so get nice and cozy in your seat, sinking in. Really relaxing into your child's pose. Settling in. Soften here. Within this moment lies an opportunity. An opportunity to release. An opportunity to release judgment, expectation, and fear. To release the body, the hips, the pelvis, belly. Within this moment, there are endless possibilities unfolding. Endless possibilities of opening, hope, courage, acceptance, and love. You are all you need to be right here. In this moment, nothing to run toward, nothing to run from, just you. Nothing to be but who you already are. Slowly and carefully making your way up, lifting back up. And we're going to move into reclining Baddha Konasana. So in reclining Baddha Konasana, we bring our feet together, like in butterfly pose, and just be gentle with how close in your legs are or how far away your legs are, noticing that the closer in they are, the less space we have in our hips. It can be really great to have a bolster behind us to lay back on and open our chest too, but it's okay if you don't have that. It's also helpful to take a blanket and roll it long ways and tuck it around your ankles for a little bit of extra support. I also like to take my yoga blocks and just for a resting pose, I just like to put these blocks under my hips to give my hips a little extra support. And then slowly making your way back onto your bolster or onto your back. Now, if you do have a sandbag, this can be awesome right on your pelvis. Just anchoring you down. Arms can be at your sides. either palm up or face down, or you can open your arms out wide like a T, just whatever you need in your body. Sink in. Really settle into this restorative place. And as you sink in to this place, as you sink into this moment, let your mind focus on your breath, your steady, ever present inhalation and exhalation. And I'll share an interpretation of the Buddha's breathing sutras. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, I follow my breath all the way through. Breathing out, I follow the out breath all the way through. Breathing in, I'm aware of my body. Breathing out, I feel the full presence of my body. Breathing in, I create space in my body. Breathing out, I release my body's tension. Breathing in, the joy in me expands. Breathing out, joy brightens. Breathing in, I feel happy. Breathing out, happiness radiates from me. Breathing in, I recognize a painful feeling inside. Breathing out, I stay with that feeling. Breathing in, I embrace a painful feeling inside. Breathing out, I hold the embrace. Breathing in, I'm aware of thoughts, mental formations. Breathing out, I call those thoughts by their true name. Breathing in, I feel the half smile of the Buddha inside of me. Breathing out, the smile is still there. Ever so slowly and gently, bring your hands to your knees and gently bring your knees back together. Wiggling our fingers and our toes. Rolling to the right side, pausing there for a moment. And then slowly push yourself up to a nice comfortable seated position. Let's come into tabletop position and we'll give it just a gentle cat-cow. Hands underneath your shoulders. Drop your belly, lift your heart, look up. Pull your belly button towards the ceiling, round your back. It's moving in and out of cat-cow. Coming back to tabletop, we'll do one downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift your hips, press back and up. Coming high up on your toes, lift your hips, press your heels back and down, pedal your feet. Shake your head no, nod it yes. Come on back down onto your knees. And now we're going to set up for legs up the wall. So you'll want to find a space where you can lift your legs up the wall. It can be really helpful here to have a blanket or a bolster to lay back on as well, just like we just did. But if you don't, that's fine too. If you need to cover up with a blanket, please go ahead and do that. And I like to get pretty close to the wall and lift my legs all the way up. And I like to scoot up. Now, if you have a lot of wall space, you'll be able to open your legs up. Some people really like to feel that wide leg straddle. You can also just legs up the wall. And then decide what will feel best with your hands, either your palms down at your sides, face up or face down. You can bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Just come into this gentle inversion that helps circulation in the body. It helps lower blood pressure. Sink and settle in. Gentle reset. going to share now a poem with an unknown author called Letting Go. To let go does not mean to stop caring. It means I cannot do it for someone else. To let go is not to cut myself off. It's the realization that I cannot control another. To let go is not to enable, but to allow learning from natural consequences. To let go is to admit powerlessness, which means the outcome is not in my hands. To let go is not to try to change or blame another. I can only change myself. To let go is not to care for, but to care about. To let go is not to fix, but to be supportive. To let go is not to judge, but to allow another to be a human being. To let go is not to be in the middle arranging all the outcomes, but to allow others to affect their own outcomes. To let go is not to be protective. It is to support another in facing reality. To let go is not to deny, but to accept. To let go is not to nag, scold, or argue, but to search out my own shortcomings and to correct them. To let go is not to adjust everything to my desires, but to take each day as it comes and cherish the moment. To let go is not to criticize and regulate anyone, but to try to become what I dream I can be. To let go is not to regret the past, but to grow and live for the future. To let go, fear less, and love more. These are instructions on how to let go. Perhaps it's letting go of a rebellious child or a burden of sorrow, losing a loved one, or learning to live with a heartache we just can't let go of. Eventually, you will find that letting go of your load will release a peace within you and allow your spirit to soar and be free. Gently drawing your knees in. Slowly wiggle around and roll to the right side. And then begin to make your way into Shavasana, corpse pose, the most important pose in all of yoga. Doing it whatever you need to do to get as comfortable and cozy as possible. Adding a blanket or a bolster under the knees. Maybe rolling an extra blanket for underneath the cervical portion of your neck. Or maybe even an eye pillow on your eyes if you have one nearby. If you want to get really fancy. Just lay there feeling fully supported by the floor beneath you. Take a big, deep breath in and let it out. Sink into this moment. And the last thing I'll share with you today is a reading that I could hear over and over and over and never get tired of. It's an excerpt from The Velveteen Rabbit by Marjorie Williams. "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day while they were lying side by side near the nursery fender before Nana came to tidy the room. "Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and a stick-out handle?" "Real isn't how you are made," said the skin horse. "It's a thing that happens to you when a child loves you for a long, long time. Not just to play with, but really loves you. Then you become real." "Does it hurt?" asked the rabbit. "Sometimes," said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. "When you are real, you don't mind being hurt." "Does it happen all at once, like being wound up?" he asked, "or bit by bit?" "It doesn't happen all at once," said the skin horse. "You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily, or have sharp edges, or have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand." If you have a little more time, you might want to stay in Shavasana. But if your yoga time is limited and you're ready to move forward with your day, bring small movements to your toes and to your fingers. Maybe move your head from side to side. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat. Gently and carefully roll to the right side, pausing there for a moment, honoring the transition out of the practice as much as the practice itself. Slowly pushing yourself up to a nice, comfortable seated position, eyes closed, hands at heart center. Let's bring our thumbs directly to our chest so it can feel the vibration within our bodies. And let's close this practice today with one loud om, remembering that an om is like an ah, o, sound. And when we om is the vibration of the universe, the vibration of all things everywhere. When we om, we're connecting to everything and everyone. Let's take a big, deep breath in. Yoga will teach you so much about yourself. It will help you become flexible in mind, in body, and in spirit. For that, I'm truly grateful. Thank you so much for coming to class. Namaste. Good work, yogis. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a nourishing and restorative rest of your day.